Welcome to this video today, which is all about what I consider to be an essential trading book for anyone who's serious about making money from the markets should read. The book is called A Man for All Markets. It's written by Edward Thorpe. I think, beginners will really find some fantastic education in it, and more experienced traders will enjoy it as well. Now, in terms of this video, I'm just going to go through a little bit of background to who Ed Thorpe was, then some of the key lessons you can learn from the book, and then I'm going to finish up with my favourite quotes from it, which I find really motivational and educational. Right, now in terms of Ed Thorpe, who was he? Thorpe, he's not kind of household name in terms of a hedge fund manager. Far more famous ones like Ray Dalio, George Soros, Jim Rogers, Paul Tudor Jones. However, Ed Thorpe's track record is probably the best of any hedge fund manager in relation to performance, to drawdown. Now, Thorpe actually did set up the world's first quantitative hedge fund, i.e. a fund that used algorithms to trade. It was called Princeton, and over a 20-year period it compounded 20% per annum. Now that's a very solid track record, but what makes it really kind of remarkable is the lack of drawdown. So in that period, Thorpe only had 3 losing quarters, and he kept drawdowns below 2%. Now, if he was like a normal hedge fund manager and would tolerate 10% drawdowns, his compound growth would be 100% in the period. So it's a fantastic track record, and I think arguably he could be considered the best hedge fund manager of all time. Now, in terms of Thorpe, I think he's 85 now, so he's been around a long time, and he has got a reputation in the financial industry as a really respected person. He's called the grandfather of the quants. When he first started out trading, Warren Buffett recommended that people invest money with him. Today, many hedge funds are influenced by him. One of the biggest and most successful, which is Citadel, bases their strategies on some of the principles that Ed Thorpe taught them. Now, in relation to the book, it's called A Man for All Markets. It's a good name, actually, because, Thorpe, very successful in the financial industry. And, the book was a financial bestseller when it came out. It was also a gambling bestseller as well. And Thorpe is really well known in the gambling community. He wrote a book called Beat the Dealer, sold over 1 million copies. The book actually showed you how to beat blackjack, or how to get the odds on your side, when the casinos didn't think it could be done. And in terms of the book, and it's quite important, Beat the Dealer as a book is important because it's all about probability, okay? Thorpe basically transferred what he learnt about beating the casinos into the financial markets. Now, if you were to read Beat the Dealer, and I'm sure only people in blackjack are probably going to be interested enough to read it, you'd see that card counting is very, very simple. Basically anyone can learn to card count, okay? And if you card count and you play with discipline, you will win. It's a very, very simple strategy. Now, a lot of people, when they think of quants, think of highly complicated mathematical methods. Thorpe makes the point in his book that basically his strategies in the financial markets were actually extremely simple. And he made a point in the book, which is something I've always believed in. He said, he wasn't doing too well in financial markets when he was researching his strategies until he paid attention to Occam's razor, which is basically a theory, I've done videos on it. Keep your strategy as simple and as robust as possible. The simpler it is, the more robust it's going to be. So any beginner coming in the market, if you think that you need to have a complicated strategy, Thorpe proves that you don't, okay? Now, in terms of his strategies, they were simple, they were robust, and he combined that with really good money management, which he goes a lot into in the book. I think too many traders don't pay enough attention to money management. They're just too focused on how much they can make. Now, in terms of the book itself, it's an interesting read, as well as an educational read, because obviously when he was beating the casinos, he wasn't popular. They cut the brakes of his car, tried to basically drug him in the financial markets. He basically goes through very significant changes that have happened in the financial markets. Okay, when people say prices or the markets never change, they do. The markets today are very different, let's say, than when Ed Thorpe started trading. Okay, so you get the history of the financial markets as well. I think another thing you can take from the book, and this is for anyone wanting to succeed at anything, is Thorpe loved what he did. Okay, he saw it as an intellectual challenge to beat the casinos, an intellectual challenge to beat the markets. He was never obsessed with money, and once he had enough money, he kind of stepped back in his trading. Okay, and he makes the point, it's not all about the money. If you don't really enjoy what you do, don't do it. And I've said it in other videos, if you just come in the Forex markets thinking it's going to be a little bit of a walk in the park to make money and you can do it as a hobby, then you're kind of in for a wake-up call, because it isn't like that. You've got to enjoy the unique challenge of trading. And in terms of just general education, okay, when I look around online, you tend to see this focus just on what I would consider greed and money. Like I see people doing Forex videos bragging about their flash car, or they're on holiday somewhere. Thorpe would be totally different to that. Just a very kind of humble man, okay, and not obsessed with money. So I think that's a key point you can take from the book. When you read the book, you'll understand a little bit more what I mean. But he just seems to really enjoy what he does, and he's not obsessed with work. It's just a means to an end for him. And in terms of the book itself, what I'm going to do now is just finish up with my favourite quotes from it, and strongly recommend you go and read the book. So here are just some lessons I think beginners should learn. More experienced traders will basically associate with the quotes as well. So here they are. Thank you very much for watching me as well. Take care. Have a good day.